Hey, y'all. What's up, YouTube? Hey. Man, that can't believe, y'all. That's my favorite one. And the more I listen to it, the more I like it. I said, okay, this is part 2. Let me get this stuff together. Let me get my thing together. Tisha Tales, y'all, shout out to her, my favorite YouTuber of all time. Yeah, she's my favorite YouTuber. How about that? Hey, breaking news: Diddy fires. Man, Mark. She's saying that Diddy done fired Mark. He ain't the lead attorney no more, so he stepped down. We don't know. We insinuate. I'm thinking she insinuating. Even if it ain't true, I still like her. I don't think she should give her money back to all her donators. You gonna give them back their money? What this got to do with you? Lied to your people. You lied to your people. Man, go sit down and worry about your daggone lawsuits and stuff you got going on in your life. Leave Tisha alone. That's my cousin. Everybody my cousin. Check it out, man. It took me a long time to start. I thought we were gonna start right back up on part 2. This is part 2, man. Part 1 is crazy, man. Golly, so if you ain't seen part 1, you gotta go. I was going crazy, man. Uncle Yana. Yeah, I got my Yana shirt and all that type of stuff. We left off with they was talking about this one lady, and she about to drop some heat and everything. I think the judge is gonna give Diddy at least, no matter what, he gonna stay in jail for at least 3 years. This is what I'm thinking. This is just I don't think the lawyer is gonna give him 10 years. That ain't gonna happen. So if the lawyer say swap, you've been sentenced to 5 years. He already did 1. I'm thinking it's gonna be more like 5 years, or I'm gonna show you that I'm showing you some leniency and say 4 years. Anything like that. I mean, let's just be civilized, people. Let's be civilized. Yeah, we want him to go to jail for a long time, but he was found not guilty on the RICO. He was found not guilty on 3 charges. So we gotta take our hat off and go with what the lawyer is saying. What makes it so bad is the lawyer didn't give him bail. He's still in jail doing time. So he still haven't gotten bail. So they get ready to try to do another bail hearing, according to the information that I'm getting. Gene Deal said something about the feds is probably going to draw up some more cases. Everybody's saying, come on, man, on the RICO case with the R. Kelly and other people, even the guy Michael who got convicted on a RICO case. He said they didn't get me the first time, they didn't get me the second time, they just kept coming until they, so this is the first time. I'm learning all this stuff. I don't know, I'm just like y'all, but I'm using some I have a criminal justice degree, so I'm learning a little bit of what I've been taught and listening to people, and a little bit of street smarts will go a long way, man. But check this out, man. I haven't heard this in a long time. I'm trying to think if this gonna crank better than I Can't Believe. Check this out. Hey, yeah, yeah,
yeah. 1, 2.
August the 1st, y'all. The album dropped.
All a dream.
All a dream. August the 1st. My album dropping.
Everybody who suffered and made it through. It was all a dream.
Whoa.
I had a dream. Diddy walk free. Now everybody hiding what they said on IG. But I ain't run, I ain't changed my place. I looked that man right dead in his face. So what you did to that girl, disgrace. You got money, power, but you blew your place. We grinding down here just to see 1 meal. And you got heaven, but act like hell's real. Yeah, I had a dream. Courtroom full of tears. The verdict came down and the man got cleared. All the headlines faded like they never cared. And all the folks that spoke up, they disappeared. But still, private accounts, deleted posts. Even bloggers went ghost like they seen a ghost. But not me, I stood up, heart full of fear. I told them face to face, you can't lie here. That girl was crying, we all seen the tape, and you apologize like that would fix the hate. You had it all, jets, fame, God's grace, but you played it like a game and spit in his face. I had a dream, Diddy walk free. Now everybody hiding what they said on IG, but I ain't run, I ain't changed my place. I looked that man right dead in his face. So what you did to that girl, disgrace. You got money, power, but you blew your place. We grinding down here just to see 1 meal, and you got heaven but act like hell's real. Yeah, you got daughters, you got sons. What they gonna say when they learn what you did? Will they look away? We pray for baby love, but what about the rest? All this dirt, you left it on your family chest. You claimed you adopt her, gave the girl a home, but where she at now? Man, she all alone. Meanwhile, rumors fly and bodies burn and cars blow up while the world just turn. Pac and Biggie, the streets still blame. You say you innocent, but you carry that flame. And what the court say? You're good, you're clear. We the court of the people and we all right here. I had a dream, Diddy walk free. Now everybody hiding what they said on IG, but I ain't run, I ain't changed my place. I looked that man right dead in his face. So what you did to that girl, disgrace. You got money, power, but you blew your place. We grinding down here just to see 1 meal, and you got heaven but act like hell's real.
I had a dream. Anyway, man, let's get to this video, man. Let's see what Tisha got to say. Thank everybody, man, who liked the channel. Thank everybody who liked the music. Everybody is saying, Uncle Mike, I can't wait till the album drop. August the 1st, we're going to be putting links in. Y'all can be teaching me, man. I don't know how you purchase the thing or stream it. I don't do no streaming. I don't even listen to the radio when I'm riding down the street, man. I don't listen to music. I'm done with music. I listen to talk. I love doing this. I like recording. I like shooting videos. I like recording, and I like the quality. I like to make the quality as best I can. And you know that the blue lights, you know, the light beaming down on me on one side, the camera on this side. You're supposed to shoot videos opposite from your lighting. And a lot of people say, man, I love your channel because your video is real clear. The music and everything is real clear. I reached out to Gene Deal, man. I'm trying to get hooked up with Gene Deal and see if he want to get some Uncle Mike help. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell. Hey, let's check this bad boy. Yeah.
Coming out of your mouth. But then we also have, of course, the woman who is doing his bail appeal. We put the paperwork in, or we put the paperwork on the screen earlier. Go ahead and check it out. But I think this is also breaking news. Now, do I have any proof of this? No. Welcome to the speculation. I will say that the way he's finally fired him, which is the way that we all thought he should have. Do you think this is the first chance that we know that Diddy is actually getting clean? He's not seeing anything through his drug stupor. And the first he did after he got done like rocking on the floor in a ball. I'm not making fun.
Hold up. I mean, that's some truth. Think about it. He was so drugged up all the time, he probably didn't realize what Mark was doing. Now that he a little sober, he said, wait a minute, this ain't making no sense. Now these drugs ain't clouding my, that don't make baby oil at Costco. Boy, get up, you fired. He's saying some weird stuff out of his mouth that nobody noticed it was weird. Now that you sober, you can look at it and hear what we hearing.
So we know that Diddy is actually getting clean. He's not seeing anything through his drug stupor. And the first thing he did after he got done like rocking on the floor in a ball, I'm not making fun of anybody that's gone through a draw. I'm making fun of Diddy, okay? Like the first thing he did after he got through all that horrible thing is look around and be like, and read Mark, because he can't watch it on TV, read Mark Agnifilio's statement and be like, I've just had enough of this ninja. Also, you know what was also weird about Mark Agnifilio? It's like, and that's why I thought he was the op. It's like he didn't understand the severity of the accusations against Diddy. He didn't understand the severity. Like, this man, we saw brutally abuse Cassie.
I'm done.
Everybody said that he is Bram Stoker's Dracula and literally sucking all the blood out of the virgins in the camp. He has been accused of doing so many horrible things. So I'm found it super, super, super weird and super, super funny that his lawyer said they have proof that one, Cassie, the Fed's star witness, tried to extort Diddy. And the thing is, and again, I'm not saying that defense fell apart. I'm saying it's one of the dumbest defense we said. This woman tried to extort you for north of $30 million. You then paid said woman who was extorting you $30 million, right? You paid that said woman $30 million who was, you didn't call the police. You ain't trying to get your Harlem hitters on her. You ain't trying to put a bomb in her car a la Kid Cudi. You ain't trying any of your normal tactics. But this woman tried to extort you. You claim you have it on a recorded call. And instead of going to the feds or the police or just saying, I'm not paying, you pay her the money and then put enough is enough. And you pay her the money because according to Mark Agnifilo, there was a lot of love there. And he just always wanted to make sure that Cassie was okay. He also tried to imply that Cassie had some sort of relationship with Diddy while she was still married. She's still married. But while she was married, because she felt like she had a better thing going with Diddy. It's like, Mark, please stop. Also, he went out of his way and instead of talking about the severity, he said, what jurors are going to see is this is a story of love, hurt, jealousy, and anger. As we're watching Cassie being dog walked through a hotel and kicked like she is a Phil. He kicked it like literally, like it was a Phil punt, like, trust y'all, and then just, double up. And I don't mean to disrespect what Cassie went through. It was horrible. But the fact that you saw all that and you are now going to give us General Hospital season 28, right? You're now going to give us a telenovela. You're going to give us a Korean drama about who, what, and why, and where things went wrong. I can't relate. Diddy's lawyer, he was right to get rid of him. But again, I think he sobered up and he was like, yeah, Ninja, I've had just enough of you. They put out statements that he was on Suey Watch. Remember when I said Diddy is not on Suey Watch? My people are saying that he still thinks he's going to beat it. And he is mad. He wants to make everyone pay along with Cassie. Remember when I first reported that Diddy is so mad that he had to pay Cassie that money? One of his defenses is going to be to put Cassie on trial, to paint her as a willing co-conspirator, hoping that he can take, if he doesn't get off, he can take Cassie down with them. And also hoping that, and this is the most important thing, hoping that the people around Cassie that were involved, maybe freak off workers, will actually sue Cassie, right? That would actually sue Cassie. For money. So whatever money that she got from Diddy will be taken away because she will be classified as his, just say Maxwell. It's an interesting take. But again, we are watching literally one of the crimes of the century and the sheer brutality we have never seen. There is accusations of sex trafficking, minors, all this stuff. And all he had to say was he is going to literally give us Love and Basketball, R&B rendition, love, hurt, anger, and jealousy. Boy, this is not The Best Man. This is not a 90s, 2000 black rom-com where we laugh, crying, that we and then we like hug it out on a basketball court and fall in love. Like, it's just ridiculous where he was going. And then him even trying to exploit Diddy and a black man. When I was like, okay, but if you really want to get into it, Diddy's whole team besides him and his sons, but anyway, I'm not even going to get into that because it really don't matter what race anybody was on their team, right? It doesn't even matter what the race was for the person. What does matter is the fact that Diddy is in no room to actually be talking, okay? I do want to say another thing, right? Well, I'll say that for another live. Thank you, Tiffany. You guys also, Tiffany Red, Natanya Rubin, they actually had first encounters with Diddy. They know a lot of players involved. They are going to be covering the trial and giving their insight on what's going on with the Diddy case. I would invite everybody to actually join their channels on YouTube. Jamie had a question. She said, Do you think Johnny Cochran, listen, here's the thing. Jamie said, I knew that Diddy was going to fire Mark Agnifilio. It was like that man was doing everything he could to get fired. Mark Agnifilio seemed like he was the living embodiment of, hold on, y'all. Seemed like he was a living embodiment of, you know, that whole thing about when they say, when you lied on your resume. Sorry, guys. Hold on, y'all. My dog.
Did she just fall? Tisha, you're not falling all over the place, are
when
you?
they said you lied on your resume and you still when you lie on your resume and still get the job. Sorry, y'all. Little puppy's overexcited. They said when you lie on your resume and still get the job. That was Mark Agnifilio. He looked like he didn't even expect Diddy to say yeah. And he was like, wait, what? I'm in and I'm the lead person. What do you mean? Oh, okay, champ. I'm ready. Let's go. That's what it honestly seemed like to me. Jamie also said, sorry, guys, puppy's running amok. Said, do you think if Johnny Cochran was alive, that he would take on Diddy's case? You know, listen, let me just say this. I feel like, yeah, why not? Why not? Johnny Cochran, why not? Why not? Defense attorney, listen, prosecutors want to win the case. The defense attorneys wants to make sure that that the prosecutor loses by any means necessary. I think this case is definitely high profile. I think that he would want to, and if he could get Diddy off, this would make him go down into the halls of everything. I mean, look what happened with OJ. Look what happened with OJ. Again, Johnny Cochran was already known, but what happened with OJ was something. Anyway, this is actually what I wanted to show you guys. Hold on. This is also Mark Agnifilio's work that I thought was really funny. Before we get into the stuff about Justin and Quincy and all this other stuff, I thought this was really funny. This is when I knew Diddy had messed up hiring them. There was such serious allegations. And they tried to run this like this was Johnny Depp and Amber Heard 2.0, which is to say that Johnny Depp won because he ran a social media campaign that turned the jurors, turned social media, turned everybody against Amber Heard. Now, I'm not going to argue whether you believe that Amber Heard was right or wrong. That doesn't really matter. The point is, Johnny Depp ran a social media campaign that literally should be studied in media classes. And he did that with TikToks and this and that and releasing information and doing all this stuff, okay? Now, why am I bringing this up? Because at the end of the day, Johnny Depp was not being sued by the USMF states. Johnny Depp was not being sued by the United States government. You cannot run these plays when you are being sued by the U.S. government for sex trafficking minors under. You just can't do that. It's just not going to happen. And the fact that they were running this play, I was just looking like, y'all gonna get this man in the electric chair. And they've already outlawed the death penalty in the United States. Ooh, he does have charges in Texas. Is the death penalty legal in Texas? What am I saying? Of course. The death penalty is probably legal in Texas because everything seems like it's legal in Texas. So I was about to Google it. This is Texas we talk about. No shade to Texas, but everything is legal in Texas. I ain't even got to Google that. But the whole point of the matter is, y'all running this like you are against a small town lawyer and blah, 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 blah. Do you realize you are going up against the government? You really think your little PR campaign, a bad PR campaign, was going to work? This is Mark Agnifilio's wife. She was Diddy's co-counsel, Mark's co-counsel before they both got fired. All right. They're both lawyers. They were both working on him and they had both literally working on his pockets. This is what they thought was going to get Diddy off. Turn the sound up. Look at this mess. This is a lawyer going in front of the U.S. government, and you are literally posting a TikTok when you got your face Abby looking to the side, acting like you ate and you gagged the girlies. Are y'all serious? Look what they did.
Former bandmate. I'm his lawyer, and here's why you should care.
You guys, your lawyer and his lawyer, here's why you should care. This is his actual lawyer making TikToks, and his lawyer, here's why you should care. What is wrong with you? Have y'all lost y'all MF in mind? If I was Diddy, I'd be like, stop. Stop.
Wow.
First, I'd be like, cut the check off. Don't let that check clear. Stop. I would be calling the bank. Yes, Chase Manhattan. Yeah, stop the wire transfer. Literally, your lawyer is making TikToks while you are facing sex trafficking. And here's why you should care. But listen, this is when I knew it was curtains for Diddy. Listen to this mess. Hold on. It's pure comedy. This is Saturday Night Live skit.
Last night, Dawn Richard, who Diddy discovered in making the band, put her in Danity Kane, where she eventually left to join Diddy Dirty Money. And in 2020, when Diddy announced the reboot of Making the Band, she hopped on board and wanted...
You guys, this is his lawyer that was going to go in federal court. They made a TikTok. Don, and you know that when the feds, they were like, let me just give you guys a little background, right? This is one of the reasons he got hit with a witness obstruction case. And I wouldn't be surprised if they also weren't like, you helped him.
What?
Dawn dropped her lawsuit, right? Diddy called Kalina, according to the bail documents, the transcript for the bail, about 144 times. Diddy and its associates, about 144 times. When they finally got her on the phone, they put pressure on her to put out a statement that boosted Diddy up by making Dawn look like she was lying. On top of that, he offered to pay rent. He offered for a financial gain. He offered some type of coercion and financial benefit, right? Obstruction of justice. Basically, you were trying to pay her to lie or to tell a story that was more beneficial to you, that was not reflective of the entire truth. Let's not forget, when you get on the stand, you have to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God, right? Okay, fine. So how do we know that this was orchestrated? Well, it's just suspicions we have, and I'm going to tell y'all why. You make up your own mind. That happened. In the background, they were harassing Kalina. As soon as then Justin put up, so as soon as Kalina put up that coerced memo that she should be, oh, I don't know, I never saw that, we weren't involved in any of that. As soon as she put up that Instagram story, the lawyer dropped the TikTok. This is one of Diddy's lawyers. I'm not joking. This is Mark Agnophilia's wife. Diddy let go of the other team and was letting Mark and his wife take the lead. They dropped this TikTok. This is Drewski part 2. I'm going in front of federal judges and you up here talking about, and here's why it's important, doing jump shots, doing this, doing like the sloppy TikTok edits. Like, are you out of your mind? TMZ kept it classier and went to Tubi. And so anyway, and then after that happened, all of Diddy's kids reposted this TikTok because they somehow thought that they were going to what? Gag the girls, get everybody active, get what? The U.S. people to rise up against the USMFing attorney's office? Have y'all lost your minds? Did you really think that a social media movement, right, to throw shade at the U.S. attorney's case was going to stop whatever the government was going to bring to you? Diddy, you tripping. But let's get back into this. Because look at her face. Look at the cuts, right?
Right.
Look at the face. Look at the cuts. Do this. Oh, Jamie makes a good point. She said Johnny Cochran got Diddy off from the gun charge. That's true. Look at the cocky look on her face. Look at the transitions. It's a TikTok. It's not even a good TikTok. People making magic on TikTok, and you got this 1992.
In Danity Kane, where she eventually left to join Diddy Dirty Money. And in 2020, when Diddy announced the reboot of Making the Band, she hopped on board and wanted to join. As you can see from this message in March 2020, she says, love, love, love you, let's do this. And yet another where she says, checking in to see if you guys are starting Making the Band back up, would love to be a part of it, bro. Yet another in December where she's saying, let's bring the crew back.
Yet a number in December, y'all.
Another message where she says we never should have stopped it. That's what he did in 2023 on his most recent album called Off the Grid. She's a featured artist on the number 3 song on the album. And all this makes sense if you watch her other statements about Diddy over the years, including this one clip from Hot 97 back in the day.
And I don't have no bad stories. That was only support. So if you do good by other people, they'll do good by you.
Now pause for Combs'
Now,
oh my
pause.
God. Pause.
Wow. Really? This proves he wasn't a monster, because never in the history is somebody being abused by someone that is accused of being so low down and running a criminal organization of putting bombs in planes, bombs in cars, murking people and doing all this stuff. Wow. Shooting. Wow. You mean because Dawn said, yeah, can we get this money? And that the fact that Dawn said, I don't have any bad blood on a TV show speaking about the music industry when asked to comment on, at that time, the most powerful man in music. I mean, already it was dumb. It was stupid. It was everything I expected from a Diddy defense, to be honest, right? But again, this is when I knew, ooh, baby, you've done hired Olga part 2. You hired Drewski. And the thing is, it made me feel like, are y'all fleecing him? Are y'all bleeding him? Both of y'all got all this stuff. This is the best you're doing. I'm paying $180,000 a week, allegedly, at least, like somewhere in that thing. And you up here making $2 TikToks, and you don't get, listen to this. Now, and then the cocky look, here she says it again. Here she said, this is his lawyer. Here she says it again. You are going to launch a media campaign to go against the U.S. government. The U.S. government don't care. It's like, there are some institutions that are immune to online chatter. Immune. And the U.S. Attorney's Office is one of them. But let's keep going.
Civil attorney's statement that she made today, which states that Rashard has now manufactured a series of false claims, all in the hopes of trying to...
This was the first step?
Yeah, all in the hopes. Anyway, you guys, it was whatever. I put this clip in. It's a little...
series of false claims,
different.
all in the hopes of trying to...
This is because King Combs had posted this on his story, which another thing. Y'all got them saying Diddy's a family man. He's super worried. He's this, he's that. They had all the kids reposted on their stories. And the next scene from the story was Christian Combs distraught and destroyed over his father. And he wants him to be a free man. Psych. Christian Combs was in the club, turning up, doing a two-step, asking the DJ to play his struggle rap. What is going on in that Diddy household? Do I have to teach you guys how to beat the charges? Do I have to teach y'all how to do? Literally, it's like literally, God, literally. What is your plan? Anyway, let's get into it.
This was the first.
This is also Drewski the lawyer part 2. Hold on really quick. Kitty Cat said, I wonder if Lou Taylor tried to put Justin in conservatorship when he was publicly spiraling because they were worried he might expose everyone. I wouldn't be surprised. Arena said, dang, I'd like to cut to the end of this to know how it all unfolds. It's not looking good for Diddy and his accomplices. Yo, also good one, Arenas. Listen, tomorrow, Diddy, the people, 100 people that are suing Diddy, turn your notifications on and press subscribe. Or if you've already subscribed, turn your notifications on. Tomorrow, I'm going live to cover the press conference. Diddy and his people are going to be named. Everybody wants names. There are 100 people being named. The lawyer is going live, doing a press conference. I think we'll live stream at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is going to not just name Diddy. They are promising to name Diddy's numerous accomplices. This is going to get the girls upset. This is going to have people shaking. They said that these people are across states. Some of them are Texas natives, some people are California, New York. They're from across states. They have banded together, and get this, they say that they definitely have proof that there are minors involved. They said they have proof. This lawyer that is going at them in Texas, Busby, his record speaks for himself. He has great cases. He's been represented by politicians. He's done this, he's done that. He seems pretty legit. These 100 people seem legit, and they are going to name the perpetrators. So we want names. We want the co-conspirators. It looks like they are going to drop. Dryam Dro said, so Stevie J is finally getting wifed up. Yo, Stevie J actually might be as a list of co-conspirators. I would imagine he was. Listen, the mess he did against Mimi and Jocelyn Hernandez. It's a shame, though. I think they said that Mimi said that the Stevie's association with Diddy mess with everybody's money because she said that she was working on a dating show with Stevie J, right? And I remember being like, what the hell, right? Because to me, Stevie J just seemed like a dirtbag. It wasn't a Diddy stuff that I was just like, oh, you evil. I just thought you were a dirtbag. And it's actually a shame when you look at it from Mimi's point of view, because I didn't know it. Somebody just told me the other day, Claudia Jordan from Fox Soul was actually producing that dating show. Claudia Jordan is actually really talented producer, and she's produced a lot of things. She's always like has people, I think because she's so beautiful, people take for granted that like how involved she is in the thing. She was producing the dating show. Mimi was going to star in the dating show. And they were taking it back at the type of mess that Diddy was in and the type of mess that Stevie might actually be caught up in. So just even the association to Diddy actually messed up that show. And again, Claudia's a great producer, so I'm sure it was going to be great. So when you look at that with the show with Mimi and Claudia, and then you look at Young Miami show that's going on with BET, it's like, Miami, if you don't distance yourself from Diddy, because Stevie wouldn't distance himself. And because of that, the show was probably axed, because who's going to do a show? Who's going to green light a show? They got Stevie J, Diddy's right-hand man, looking for love. It's just bad optics. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, Claudia had that show to go. Nobody knew what Stevie was a monster. It was just going to be like, oh, haha, look at this dirtbag. And I'm sure it was going to be highly entertaining. So that got axed. So if that got axed, then what is Young Miami doing not distancing herself? Because your reality TV show can be axed too. And you saw what happened with Stevie when he wanted to stand by Diddy. Also, that revolt thing can actually be axed too. So like, what is actually going on? I wonder if Young Miami is actually calling 1-877-4-HSI-TIP. That is 1-877-4 Homeland Security Investigation Tip. It is a hotline. They said if any of the women that Diddy tricked into thinking they were in a romantic relationship, but they were actually sex trafficked, want to come out and actually tell them everything they know, the door is open, but it's fast closing. So they should call now 1-877-4-HSI-TIP. I'm just saying. But again, is Stevie J finally getting wiped up? No, because of his refusal to cut ties with Diddy, he lost that dating show. And I'm sure he's going to need the money now. And again, Claudia Jordan does really good stuff. So I'm sure the show actually would have been funny and amusing, right? But I'm sure Claudia already got somebody else to replace him. But again, if that messed up Stevie's bag, and by proxy Mimi and a whole crew of people, then what's going on with Young Miami? She should actually be really worried about that. Is Stevie finally getting wiped up? Time will tell. Bless Child said, no, I'll watch it on Hulu. Let me say the name, better look it up. So TMZ did 2 documentaries. The second documentary where he's talking about the baby oil, that's only on Tubi. It's a Tubi exclusive, but they did do one before that was on Hulu. You are right about that. But there's another one that just dropped exclusively on Tubi. Kate Walker said, thank you for the tea. And Clive is still doing this. You already know. It's now on up and up. Yeah, Clive Davis, Diddy's benefactor and sugar daddy, is now out here acting like he got dementia and don't know what's going on. We literally just saw you like doing the 2-step and run it up, throwing the Grammy party, having a good time. We now catch up to you after Diddy is doing all this, and you're like, huh? What? God, Jesus, is that you? Sir, please stop playing and sit down. All right. Tara Jackson said, Brittany and her husband, DMX, Easy Kim, Hot Shot. Okay, I feel you on that one. Screwed Up DJ, thank you so much for becoming the newest member. Tara, I am going to do some research on that. Thank you so much. And FJ311 said, girl, you keep us entertained while serving us the 411. Thank you, Ann. Wonder Woman said, hello, Tattletales. Welcome, Tattletales. Join the fam. I'll mod if needed. Yeah, you know what? I am going to start bringing on some mods. Shout out to Rim. Shout out to B. Shout out to Mikkel. Rim, that you guys really, really actually helped me so much. I'm going to bring some other moderators on to spread the work out. We are growing, and I know I'm still acting like I got 12 subscribers in my mama's basement. Anyway, Natalie K
Facts.
said his ex-lawyer's last name sounds like a drug allegation. Nasty work, Agnaphelio. I know that's right. Goddess Witch said America's safer with that butt demon, but behind bars. Goddess Witch, I agree with you. Because they said that the freak-offs were even happening until 2024. I 100% agree with you. The government did a great job of proving that he was a danger. Hold on really quick, you guys. We're going to get into the rest of the video, and then we're going to talk about what's going on with Diddy and Justin and Christian and how this could actually spell the end. Also, Sherman Club said Diddy's new lawyer passed the egg test.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Yolanda Cook said his attorneys are as sick as he is. I would agree with that. That was some wild, nasty work when I saw that. Doree Angel said, Tisa, tomorrow I fear that Diddy will hire Amber Heard's 2022 legal defense team, Elaine and the Rottenberg mega pint. Listen, Doree, Diddy's going that way. Again, and maybe we can't even blame Mark Agnaphelio. Maybe Diddy is the one paying all the bills and calling all the shots. And Mark's like, dude, I don't think he's like, just you better get out there and just admit to it. You know what I'm saying? The legendary kind. Thank you for being a member 4 months. And you said our discovery game is better than theirs. Spill it. Season 2004, shame mark. Let's go. Exactly. When light comes, darkness must flee. You guys don't forget all this week. I am going to be dropping a bunch of recaps for all the little investigation we did that a lot of people, including myself, sometimes you need to refresh. Either you haven't seen it and it's new to you, or you really forgot because, again, the feds are gearing up. Let's also not forget the other day I dropped a video that was from November 2017 when after the Cassie stuff dropped. And I'm like, everybody want to know where Diddy is. Diddy's in London. And a lot of people don't understand why. Okay, maybe I should have put a little precursor in it, but I just dropped the video. Why I posted that video. It wasn't to let anybody but brain would know Diddy's not out there walking in London. It was, no. Why was that posted? Because less than 12 hours later from me posting that video that just seemed out of the blue, the U.S. Attorney's Office announced that the lead attorney on this, he, along with his best and brightest interviewers, went over to London. They are in London right now, interviewing Diddy's victims in London. Apparently there are so many and they are so numerous. It didn't make sense for them to all fly to the US. They literally went to London, set up shop, and they are now interviewing everybody that says that they were victimized by Diddy in the UK. Why do I say that? Because the investigation has been expanded to the thing. The investigation, he is accused of rug trafficking, money laundering, sex trafficking, violence, RICO, racketeering, all that stuff. That video that I put up that seems seemingly unrelated, I was trying to put y'all on T without actually putting y'all on T before the T was announced. Again, all I ask is when I give y'all information, just file it away. Trust and believe it's going to be, you're going to need it and it's going to be important for a reason. But surprise, Diddy went after that Cassie stuff dropped. He was hiding in the UK. He thought he was going to completely beat this. But also when he was hiding in the UK, his billionaire sugar daddy, Ron Burkle, lives in UK, has a place in UK. Diddy has deep ties to UK. He plays in UK. He stays in UK. He parties in UK. As a matter of fact, after he settled with Cassie, he had the mother of all parties in the UK. Now, he didn't show himself doing it, but you saw from all his kids' stories and his home team, they were all doing celebration, partying their faces off in the UK, that all those bad times were over. Again, I posted that video so you guys actually had why there were connections to a DJ that was super tight with Diddy, that was Turkish, that wound up kidnapped and dead because of the Turkish organized crime in the UK. Diddy had connections to that person, but also Mayor Eric Adams, who is a staunch defender of Diddy, keys to the city, close friend. Mayor Eric Adams also got indicted. Why? Because of pay for play with the Turkish government, among other things. Turkey, Diddy, Eric Adams, UK, Yeah, hiding out, Cassie, partying, the U.S. Attorney's Office, flying over. Again, is it connected? We gonna see, but it was enough for me to actually throw up that recap so you guys can know what was actually discovered 7 months ago. Y'all feel what I'm saying? Y'all feel me? Anyway, Mel Bethel said my sleep score is almost 70. You messing me up, TT, but I'm staying up to watch. Yeah, shout out to the Aura Ring. Shout out to the Aura Rings. Happy, thank you so much for becoming a member. Marie Rose, thank you so much for the super sticker. Also, DC said, Eve is in the States. You think she's testifying? Yo, DC. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if Eve is testifying. I really honestly don't. Because at the end of the day, people tell me what they want to know, and I have to leaf through it to see what's true and what's not true, right? I honestly don't know, and I don't have an opinion on whether Eve is in the States. I will say that if we find out that Eve is testifying, I wouldn't be surprised. The investigation is 2008. They are even thinking about expanding it to before 2008. Eve, if you guys don't know, lives in the UK with her millionaire husband, Maximilian, and their cute little kid. Eve is in the States. Maybe she is testifying in front of a grand jury. However, she could have stayed there and they could have interviewed her. But that's a good point. She could actually, let me do some more research because I don't know. It makes sense because they're interviewing people over there now, but that's interviewing. When they actually know you 100% have information that they need, that they want you to testify in front of, that's when they fly you out to testify in front of a grand jury. So it's very, very interesting that they're still interviewing people over to see who's going to be flown over to testify in front. In front of that, we have it all upon information and belief that this week and next week, there are sex workers that are going to be interviewed by the grand jury, among other people. Again, it's been expanded in the next 2 weeks. Now, prior to Diddy getting arrested for obstruction of justice, it looked like the final layer of, because there's when you testify to a grand jury, there are people in, like, it's like a pyramid, right? Mm-hmm. The top is the most important. The bottom is not the least important, but we can get to them later. You want the top people there first, just because if anything happens, witnesses go up missing all the time and you never know. But they're nearing the final stages. Now, again, they subpoenaed Miami hotels. The investigation might be even expanded even more. But at this point, I think that now that Diddy's in jail, I think that we can all kind of be like, you know what? Let's be patient with justice. They're going to get him. They're going to get him. But now that he's in jail, it's like, good. Let's see what happens, As long as he stays in jail on bail, we ain't got a problem, right? But I won't be surprised if he's testifying. I'm going to lean on my sources a little bit more and see if they'll just give me a little bit more. I'll make a video if I hear anything, but I can't say whether she's testifying or not because her name has not been thrown about. But I'll be honest with you, I was being nosy about other names. So I'm going to actually look into that and see if I can hear anything back. Also, Tara Jackson said, did you hear that Jack at Gematria Sports did you hear Zach at Gematria Sports talking about you? No, I didn't. I'll look it up. I hope it was good. If it's not, I'll block it out. My compartmentalization is top tier. It is top tier. I'll tell you that much. It is top tier. Okay, so where are we at? Let's get back into the White Drewski and how he is going to change the game for Diddy and find a way to bring back the death penalty. They're going to find a way to bring back the death penalty just so they can put him on it. Southern Girl 777, thank you so much for the super sticker. And Mel Bethlehem said, Naomi is part of the UK crew. Do you think she will testify? Honestly, I have heard that Naomi is one of the people they need to interview. I have heard that Naomi is one of the people that they need to interview. Okay. Again, when you are subpoenaed in front of a U.S. office, a grand jury, if you're an American citizen, you must testify. Naomi is a UK citizen. That said, they can put in paperwork. It'll be long, but they can put in paperwork compelling her to testify. And after what happened with Naomi's charity, I don't think she wants any more bad press about her stonewalling and refusing to testify in the Diddy case. So I think that if they did say, okay, we subpoena her to testify, I think she will show up on her own accord. I just don't think she wants the press of fighting against going to testify for Diddy. And let's also not forget that Naomi Campbell, if she needs to, can plead the fifth. Let's also not forget that. Yolanda's Cook says, you pray Tupac and Biggie will be tied to him as well. You know, that's something that's coming out. Keep your eye. All I can say about that is keep your eye on that space. It's not over with that. Keep your eye on that space. And KG, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate that. Heather Stanley said, who needs CNN when you got TNN? Tisha tells news. Y'all capping me up. Thank you so much. This is more of a little coffee gossip mess spill session. Also, Southern Girl 777, thank you so much for becoming a new member. Okay, let's get back into the lawyer from hell.
Step. We have a bail appeal scheduled for tomorrow at 3:30 in front of Judge Carter, the district judge assigned to this case. I think that we made the points that we've been wanting to make. I think it came out. Mr. Combs is a fighter. He's going to fight this to the end. You
guys, I just had to play this because we were going through the greatest reels on why Diddy fired his attorney, and we can go through any of these things. This man is on trial for unspeakable, inhumane violence, terrorizing, abuse, sex trafficking. Let's also not forget the public sentiment for what we saw him do to Cassie. And this lawyer, the one that is set to free him, had a conference outside of New York City. And said this, and I quote,
Holmes is a fighter.
He's a fighter. Yeah, Mark, we know. We saw the video. This is what I mean about his lawyer. What are you doing even putting the words Sean Combs and fighter in the same sentence after we saw the Cassie's video? Dude, are you the ops? What are you doing? Also,
she is.
So, we'll talk about that later.
He's going to fight this to the end.
I'm sure he will. He going to fight this to the end. What?
She is tight. Tisha is tight. Think about it. Your job as a lawyer is to smooth everything down. He is talking about fighting. He's going to fight this to the end. Dude, we know he a fighter. Every time we look, he talking about beating up on some girl. So you want to stay away from them words. Tisha right. Tisha is right on that one.
If I was a lawyer, the only thing that you are allowed to associate with Diddy are cute little animal videos of golden doodles being cute. I like the way you move. Literally him doing cute stuff with kittens, right? Or showing like him like rescuing animals or giving, holding them while they're like sad and scared. And all you hear is some Billie Eilish. When will it end? So now. That's all I want to see from him. That's all I want to see. What are you doing? You are supposed to be his attorney. He's a fighter. He's been fighting all his life. Yeah, I know that sounded good on paper, but was there anybody else in the room that was like, yeah, Mark, I like that, but do you think now's the time to put fighter, been a fighter all his life, in charge of when we think that Diddy is the second coming of like the Omen, Bram Stoker's Dracula, and like some sadist fight club all rolled into one? Again, there are so many clipbacks for why this man got fired. I think he's a fighter. He's been fighting all his life.
He been fighting Cassie.
Women through walls. Oh,
he a fighter.
Nah, that was hurt. That was jealousy. When y'all hear the real story about what happened, and Kathy, and then Mark in the bail hearing had the nerve to start getting messy. Mark, even I know there's a time to be messy and a time not to. Mark, the way he was like, actually, the real story, Your Honor, is Cassie, when that happened, there's more to the story. See, Cassie, he sat there in front of the federal judge who's going to be presiding over the case and said, no, Your Honor. See, what happened was Cassie was actually was a jealous one. She actually went through Sean's phone and hit him in the head in the phone because he was talking to he was talking to other women. And on top of that, they were cheating on each other. And she actually was cheating on him with a trainer he was paying for. He literally said that in front of the judge. I said, he is messy, but this ain't the time. Now, would I love to have coffee with Mark Agnifilio and get some tea? Absolutely. Because he seems really funny and he likes being messy, but in front of the judge, Mark, bro.
He's innocent. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He's not afraid. He's not afraid of the charges. There's nothing that the government said in their presentation today.
He went to New York. He's not afraid of the charges. I know you MFing lying. If he wasn't afraid of the charges, you wouldn't even be at that press conference. But also, even this other lie. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He was accused of witness tampering in New York. That's why he got arrested. And he came to New York to establish...
Bullshit. Mark, from day one, man, I saw right through you, man. Especially with that Costco thing, man. You're not thinking as a lawyer. You're trying to get out there and get on camera. See, he needs some more time to be a top of the line lawyer. Let him do his camera work. Let him get his fame out of his hair. That's what his problem is. He love that fame that's going down.
So even this other lie. He came to New York to establish his innocence. He was accused of witness tampering in New York. That's why he got arrested. And he came to New York to establish his innocence. But then the next day, he actually had a conference that said all his kids are super sad and they didn't see this coming and they don't know what to do. Which is it? Did you come to New York to turn yourself in? Because if you did, I assume you made peace with all your kids before you did that. Or was this a surprise and they snatched your ass off of the streets as they should, to quote Cardi B, and did, exclamation point, and did. Yeah, but let's continue.
That changes anyone's mind about anything. He's been looking forward to this day. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case and now is finding themselves as a witness in a criminal case. And we're going to fight this case.
It's basically someone that brought a civil case, and now they find themselves in a criminal case, as if Cassie wasn't the one that actually put this criminal complaint into the feds.
With everything we have, as is he, and eventually he's going to be shown to be innocent. And so tomorrow we fight again, and we'll fight every day until we don't have to fight anymore. He's been looking forward to clearing his name, and he's going to clear his name. And we're going to stand by his side as he does. We believe in him wholeheartedly. He didn't do these things. This was a 10-year relationship. There's no coercion. There's no crime. There's basically just, someone who brought a civil case.
Anyway, to get back to this, Kalia Smith, thank you so much for being a member. Also, KG said, the TikTok shoots are saying Steve Harvey's in a freak off tape with Diddy.
That's what I'm waiting on.
Listen,
right
let me just say, let me say two things, right? Hold on really quick. Let me just turn my camera off for a second. Let me just say two things. One, I know y'all MF and lying. Shut up. Second of all, and let me be real, right? I do not think that's true. I just don't. I just don't. I saw the way Steve Harvey was looking at Diddy, but 2022 been a wild ride. So let me just shut up. I don't think that's true, but let me just shut up because you know what? You never know. It's just wild. The legendary content next on World's Dumbest Criminal, when narcissism makes you record all your criminal activity. I know that's right. T said, where is Stevie J? He's quiet. He real quick. This is how you also knew Diddy didn't think that he was going to get arrested and wasn't coming to turn himself in. Because if I was talking to Jamie about this on the phone, if Diddy really was turning himself, his favorite bottom B would have literally been by his side, walking and being like, yo, man, the fact that Stevie J wasn't by his side while he was in New York to turn himself in, just lets me know y'all wasn't planning on anything. Y'all just got y'all got snatched up. Also, Mindy H, thank you for being a member. Last thing I want to leave y'all with is this young woman
photos from
on Becca Day on TikTok. If y'all don't follow Becca, go ahead. She's actually really good. If y'all active on TikTok, please go support her. And also, what was the other lady's name? Anonymous Alley 198, the white Tamar Braxton. Okay. Becca made a good point that I just want to talk about. Hold on. Listen.
Been going through some of the photos from Diddy's parties and his white parties that have lived on the internet for years, collecting cobwebs. But my curiosity is a powerful thing. And one thing that I have noticed in so many of these photos that drives me absolutely crazy is the fact, especially now knowing everything that we know about things that were happening at Diddy parties, P. Diddy always had his kids up in those parties. Like, for example, this photo. So this is a photo of Diddy at one of his parties, and you see King Combs, who can't be older than 9 or 10, talking to his dad. What is happening directly in this child's eyesight? Now, I could be wrong. This could be absolutely nothing, but this looks like a preparation to ski. You know what I'm saying?
Again.
It's eyesight. Now, I could be wrong. This could be absolutely nothing, but this looks like a preparation to ski. You know what I'm saying? I could be wrong. That's just what it looks like to me. But P. Diddy had his boys at these parties constantly. And it's very interesting now because King Combs is currently being accused of SA and being named in the P. Diddy lawsuit. And it wasn't just P. Diddy's kids at these white parties. There was other kids at these white parties. Like, why are we bringing our children to these events? And honestly, even just on like a level of, let's say we didn't know the things that were happening at these parties and it was just a bunch of people getting wasted. That's still not fine. That is a very dangerous environment for a child. But anyway, these photos, going through all these pictures.
Okay, so the reason I showed Becca Day's TikTok on top of her just being super talented is the fact that she brings up very interesting points. Tomorrow in the news conference, there are going to be over 100 people saying that when they were minors, or they might still be minors, Diddy did the do and gave them his little rap Epstein special. Okay. I was talking to somebody today and they actually expressed sentiments and said they think that the things that went on with Diddy was when people find out, it is way worse than what actually went down with Jeffrey Epstein, if you can believe it. Now, I didn't ask him to expand. I should have. We were talking about other stuff, but at the end of the day, they say that what went down with Diddy was actually way worse. But it brings us to the point, right? Diddy's kids were witness to a bunch of stuff at those parties. And even if you want to argue that crazy stuff didn't happen, like the freak offs and the crazy stuff happened at the after party and not the white parties, we still have to admit that white parties were pretty intense for minors, right? There were rugs, there were women walking around topless, of people they paid to entertain, there was debauchery, there was drunkenness, and it was a lot of drunk adults. And again, maybe it's me, I'm just scary about like little kids being around adults that are drunk in a party that big where anything could happen to them at any moment. You don't know what goes on in people's minds. And when you're in a party with, I can understand if it's a family party or even like a party of like friends and stuff, but when you're in a party of maybe 500 attendees and they're all drunk, acting crazy, maybe, getting ready for their ski lessons to hit the slopes or on some other stuff, I just wouldn't want a kid because I don't think that I could actually, and Diddy was busy entertaining. And a lot of times the moms actually weren't at the party. The kids were. Kids get away with you. I say all this to say, if we're looking and seeing Diddy's kids, right? the ones that he looked at as the three kings, the heir to the throne, the ones he was invested in, the ones that even if he is a narcissist, he'd be like, okay, well, they're an extension of me. So I don't want anybody messing with my kids. And these are the kids that you would think out of the whole thing, Diddy would care the most out of something happening to him. If they were allowed to run free and see this stuff, and it was par for the core. And this was at the before party, before that light, the door got locked and people turned into gremlins. If they were allowed to actually be there, then it makes you wonder, how crazy did things get for other people's A minors, other people's children? Again, if you were willing to openly let other people see these kids participating in this stuff, what happened when the lights went off? You see what I'm saying? So it makes me think that, again, this is developing in my head, and I'm going to wait until the press conference tomorrow to give my full view on it, but y'all get what I'm saying, right? If you were allowed to let your most trusted even be around this, and this was PG-13, what type of debauchery went off after the lights were done? And let's also not forget that there are numerous people saying that Diddy's kid, well, I don't want to say, but sons were participated in the freak offs or the freak off lights, if you were. Let's also not forget that, yeah, like there was a lot in the lawsuits. We'll have to revisit that, but it just lets you know just how depraved things were and how much Diddy's moral compass had slid, that you, again, she doesn't know what this is, but it looks like from the way their fingers are, that flat board, all this stuff, it looks like they are getting ready to go skiing. And this is why Diddy is sitting here romancing Paris Hilton, Steve Stout, also a notable coca head, and just doing all this stuff. It looks like people are rolling right there. Again, it's very, very odd. And again, if you can see with this kid, there's no nanny around this kid. There's nobody watching a kid. There's no security. There's no handler. The kid is just walking around in a giant white party where there's alcohol, rugs, debauchery, and God knows what other evil things on people's thing. Because let's not forget that most of his parties were the who's who of the entertainment industry, whether that be film, whether that be radio, whether that be television. They were a who's who, or music. It was huge who of entertainment. So you're not even dealing with like regular people. You're dealing with people in an industry that already got to do some strange things for some change. Again, it's something interesting about Diddy and the way he let his own sons be exposed. And if he let his own sons be exposed to this, what do you think he was doing to other people's sons and daughters? Again, it's just debauchery. It's debauchery. And the way in the parties, he had to have his kids front and center because it's almost like he needed to indoctrinate them into the lifestyle so that now, I don't know, I feel like, especially if it's boys, if you are hanging around someone like that, that he has indoctrinated you to believe that this type of lifestyle is the right type of lifestyle. And when you see these things happen, it's just par for the core. And when we're sitting there clutching our pearls, well, we're just being haters. We're just being this. We're just being that. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. You know, y'all know what I'm saying. But anyway, listen, let me just say this. Like, Diddy going to jail? And I mean jail with 6 L's behind it. You going to jail. You are going to jail. Really quick. There's just a lot. There is just a lot. Oh, look at this. Quiet on the Set, Network ID unveils a domestic violence documentary on Chris Brown amid new accusations. Chris Brown, not looking good. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. Okay, so anyway, you guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Also, Kitty Cat said, any tea on Michael Rubin's white parties? Let me just say one thing about Michael Rubin's white parties. Michael Rubin's white parties, Diddy actually seemed like he had an attitude at first because Michael Rubin saw what Diddy did with the parties, but once Diddy started flying private in Chirac and all this other stuff, he kind of stepped away from the white parties. Michael Rubin bought the white parties back because he thought he was going to take something that Diddy had made a brand and bring it back and with Barstool Sports and turn it into a who's who. So let me tell y'all something. I know people that actually attended Michael Rubin's white party, and all I can say is it's lucky for Michael Rubin that those parties were, according to, again, these are just my people. You don't have to believe it. Please go yourself and see. It was boring. It was dry. The music was whack. The only time that you saw people having fun is when they would go out on a balcony or in the driveway when people were driving up. They had paparazzi out there. People go on the balcony to get shot. And sometimes when there was a camera around the room, people would start dancing a little. They said it was dry. They said it literally was like an office holiday party from hell. They said it was like a, sometimes you have to have a happy hour and the boss was like, oh, let's have a happy hour to welcome everybody. And nobody wants to go, but you can't say no. And you got to sit there and you can't drink because the boss is there. They said it is nothing but an industry network event, but it is boring. People just go stand around. No one's really talking. They said that actually for the first couple of years, Black women weren't even invited. And not because Michael Rubin didn't want it, but because the actors and athletes that he was around, they didn't want them there. Now the Kardashians were the ones that would bring Black women or racially ambiguous women as their plus one, right? But even now, the only Black women or racially ambiguous women that they allow are people like the Justine Skye or the Lori Harveys or the people that already got their own little clout. So they're kind of like celebrities coming. But as far as just like regular model pretty that are just there invited for eye candy, they still are not on the list. Again, Michael Rubin thought, and again, this isn't to defend Diddy because whatever, he thought he stole the recipe, but the sauce still don't play the same. So I say all this to say, the tea on Michael Rubin's white parties, it's too boring for anything to happen. Forget about whether there was a freak off or whether people get freaky. Let's act about whether people were falling asleep on the couch and bored and ready to go and left there to go to a real 4th of July party. Again, they are nothing but network events. Michael Rubin's like, yeah, I heard Not Like Us. And I was like, we can't play it. Baby, you should have that. At least that would have gotten that bitch jumping. It was just, again, thank God. Listen, the boredom makes it pretty certain that there ain't nothing ever going to happen at Michael Rubin's party. But what do I know? What do I know? Kim Marie Norman said, so true, those kids were groomed. I wonder about if he was seeing Paris Hilton. She was hanging heavy with Diddy at one point. I wouldn't be surprised if she was. And that's why people would like to see, Paris Hilton and Diddy, Paris Hilton speak on Diddy. Let's also not forget, Paris Hilton in her own documentary, Paris Hilton has her own issues with like a racist past. Okay. She is a racist. I don't even know if she ever reformed from it. Her mama, you can Google the videos of her being like, I'm an N-word. I'm a stupid, dumb N-word. Like that type of unrepentant, disgusting, like, like all racism is disgusting. This is the type of racism. You're just like, no, how do we get in this? So Paris Hilton has her own stuff. But again, I just go back to saying that there are so many people connected. And I do want to say that anybody that hangs with Diddy hard, the Paris Hiltons, the Jay-Z's, the Kevin Harts, anybody that was hanging with Diddy hard, yeah, y'all need to explain yourselves. Y'all need to explain yourself. Also, OG Miss T said 8K in here and only 3.6 likes. See, that's why I'm logging off. Y'all be doing me dirty. Come on, our girl's working overtime to make sure the tea is piping hot. And also, we got Gerald Gibson said, not in jail, not the jail with 7 L's, but okay. Y'all keep telling me, T said, get it right. Jail and prison are not the same, right? But prison with a capital P. You go into prison, capital P, and let's add 6 N's behind that. Prison right now. Anyway, you guys, listen, let me get out of here. I'll see you guys tomorrow for that press conference. All right. I'll see you guys for that press conference. And tomorrow, I promise I'm a little bit locked in with travel right now. So tomorrow, I swear, will be a heavy upload day. You can count on at least 3 lives. Also, I will be posting recaps and other little videos I've made about the current news. All right. Diddy looks like he's going to be in jail. So we're going to get back to Royals, Cardi B. What else is trending right now? Did you see Cardi B and Offset? I do want to say, shout out to Cardi B. Shout out to Cardi. It took her a while, but she finally taken her power back. And baby, we love to see it. That new album gonna be fire. We love to see it. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later, okay? Bye.
Man, that's crazy, man. First of all, hey, I want to play the song again, man. I don't know. Maybe it's me. I ain't gonna play it. I ain't gonna play the song. I'm gonna wait till y'all get the album and let me know some things. In her comments, they asking about Ali Carter, and we're doing an Ali Carter series. I'm looking over here now, actually putting up 7. We did 6. I don't know what happened, but I'm thinking we supposed to be, my paperwork says we on part 7, okay? But the editors and the people who are helping me, for some reason has added a number. I think I think they did on the Ali Carter thing. So it might be a 7 up there, and they had named this one 8, but my paperwork saying that it's 7. Anyway, why did I explain all that? She stopped on what's trending, and I'm trying to let y'all know, man, this Jay-Z thing is trending. My next video I'm about to do is about Jay-Z and Ramir, and I just got some news that Ramir never even filed anything to take away from. It's still going on, so now I gotta go and get with this. Hey, do me a favor, man. We have another channel. Also, check out the other channel. Leave me a comment if you can't find the other channel. Search Before the Stage TV. I'm about to put out a series, man, that's supposed to be helping rappers and beat makers or whatever. All the information and stuff. And this is my last chance, rappers. This is your last chance, because I'm getting sick and tired of y'all. I'm trying to help out rappers, but apparently they don't want no help. So guess what? We're gonna go with some bands or whatever. I'm itching to get out there and take my talents and the cameras out and film something. Does that make sense? Anyway, I don't know, man. What I'm trying to say is I'm putting together a show. I want to produce a show, and I'm going to produce a show. The show I'm trying to produce is give some rappers and some people that's trying to learn the business of music an opportunity, but apparently they can't even sign up for free and put a damn picture up, in their bio. Lord have mercy. So that's it with that. So the next trending thing is we going to start dropping some Ali Carter videos, and I'm gonna stay on top of this Jay-Z and Ramir. I'm just hoping that the government make Jay-Z take this test, because I feel as though, I don't care who you are, you should not be exempt for taking a daggone DNA test. And don't forget, the DNA test can go either way. You are or you are not. At least the brother know if it's the father, and then the world will know that you've been doing some stuff you ain't had no business doing, especially when you've been hiding and ducking and weaving all this time. I'm gonna get on up out of here, man. Hey, y'all take it light, take it slow. Tell him Uncle Mike told you so. Peace out.